Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. My name is Danielle for those of you who are brand new around here, and myself and my family, we just bought a beautiful old 1800s farmhouse. It was actually built, well, at least our paperwork says that it was built in the year 1800, so it's over 200 years old. It is beautiful, but it is definitely a bit of work to just bring it up to date, clean it up, make it homey. So that's exactly what we are doing right now over the next several weeks, months, who the heck even knows how long this is going to take. I'm bringing you along on this wonderful journey of restoring our old 1800s farmhouse, and today we're going to be working in the living room.
You are my home, the light you share.
So the very first thing that we need to do, first of all the walls in this house are white, like white on white on white. It is way too white for me, and that's not really my style. I'm more of a colorful person, definitely like in a color palette scheme. Like I have like a palette that I really like. I like different designs and schemes that I love, but we needed to first start off by taking care of all the cracks in the walls. The walls in the entire house are plaster. I mean, it was built in 1800, so that's kind of to be expected. It doesn't look like they were ever really changed a whole lot. So there's definitely some cracking. It just comes along with having plaster. We had some plaster walls in our old house as well. Our old house was built in 1913, so kind of a similar vibe. So we started off by getting some spackle and spackling all of the cracks. And I am going to start today by getting a bucket of soapy water and just going through and kind of washing off all of the walls so that we can get ready to start painting in here. Sorry, my kids are right there. I have some beautiful ideas for this wall in particular. This is the farthest wall when you walk in. It is a big white plain wall. All the other walls have something on it, like either a window or a bump out or a door or whatever. Maybe this is like the big wall here. So I have some ideas. I don't know if we're gonna get to them in this video. I'll probably have another video in the future fairly soon for some design ideas, but I wanna do some sort of a molding, like fun molding design on this wall. It's right next to our stove. I just think the whole thing will look really beautiful. We have like an old wood burning stove that actually works and will hopefully keep us very warm over the winter time. But yeah, let's get started kind of putting together some water and just cleaning off the walls so that we're not getting any of the like kind of sandiness from sanding the spackle into our paint.
So like I said, I just started by getting some soap and water and kind of scrubbing off the walls. Not only was there some dust from the spackling, but we still had a bunch of dust on the walls from when we had the floors redone the week before. So I wanted to make sure that everything was super clean, that there was no residue on the walls at all while we were getting ready to paint. I wanted everything to feel nice and smooth and even. So that's why I'm washing everything off. Also, I decided after kind of putting this video together that we are going to have to do multiple parts for the living room. Everything is just taking so long to do, not just to get it together, but like if I had put all the pieces together that I've already filmed, man, this would have been a long video. So this is going to be part 1 or episode 1 of our living room sort of remodel. And this is going to be the living room side specifically. Also, on a side note, this is the most amazing brush for edging that I've ever used in my life. I will link it in the description below. It's perfect. We are not people who tape anything up when we paint. We are just incredibly level-handed when we edge everything, and we really take our time to make sure that we don't drip at all. It is a little bit more tedious, but honestly, the first time I ever painted my old house, we taped up everything, and it took us 2 hours just to tape everything up. And then when we peeled the tape up, there was a whole bunch of just sort of mishaps with the paint kind of like tearing in certain places, and then we had to go back and touch it up anyway. And we just learned it is so much better to just go in with a very even hand and kind of edge everything out. So that's what we did, starting off with this beautiful blue paint frozen pond in the house to begin with. After we got our first coat on, which was late at night once we had put the boys to sleep, the following day I was able to come through and do a second coat around and really get a nice thick color on the wall. It was kind of a long process. I mean, I would say it took us maybe about 2 hours each time we put another layer of paint on, but it really came out good. And just so you know, that little bit of paint that ended up on the wood trim, that wasn't actually me. That was from the previous owners. That is actually white paint there, but we have a really great technique with a razor to get any paint that is left on off.
So we finished the first coat of that trim, like outline paint, last night, and now we are, I'm the only one here right now, doing the second coat of the trim paint, and I just have some thoughts. First of all, it's just nice to see some color in this house. There's not a ton of color in this house, and the color that was in the house was kind of like, it was okay. It wasn't like terrible, but there's a lot of white in this house, which I kind of already said earlier, but it's so nice to get color in this house. But this paint color in particular, it's called Frozen Pond. It's from Home Depot, and I got it for my old house. And if you've seen any of my old videos, this was the color, the main color that was like in our living room, up our stairwell, in our old house. And as I've been painting this particular color, because we also started doing the boys' room and stuff too, and a couple other places, but as I've been doing this specific color, man, do I finally feel like I'm home. Like, I can't even tell you, it's not even fully on the walls yet, it's just like around the trim. I cannot tell you how much this just makes me feel like we're finally home. So I can't wait to see the paint rolled on the walls. That's the next thing. My mom is here with me as well. So once we get the kids down for a nap, that is what we're gonna start doing, is rolling the walls, and this room will start to come together. And I'm so excited for it because I love how it's making me feel more like we're at home. And then as soon as we're done painting, we can actually bring the furniture that has been out in pods in the front yard back in here, and it will finally start to feel like it is our house for the first time. I mean, it's starting to feel like home, but really it's like all those personal touches that make things feel like home. That's my personal opinion. So I cannot wait to get all of that in and really make it feel like it is our home, because it is, obviously.
So kind of like I had just mentioned in that clip, once we got all of the paint on the walls, it really, really did start to feel like home. And as we started to bring in all of our old furniture and really made the place feel like our own, oh my goodness, it feels so cozy now. It feels so comfortable. I'm so glad that we decided to do this color. And honestly, I was a little back and forth about it because I had a lot of family members that were like, it's a new place, it's a new season, try a new paint color. But there's just something about this color that is making me feel so connected to all of the memories that we had in the previous house. I love that house so much. And if you've never seen our previous house, I will link a couple of videos, especially my house tour from the springtime, below for you guys to check out. That house was just absolutely lovely, but it did not have the outdoor space that we really wanted as a family, as a growing family. We have 2 boys that love to run around and play. And that has been the greatest blessing with moving to this beautiful farmhouse. It is so lovely to look outside. We have some of the most beautiful views. We have all windows in our kitchen on the one wall, and we have a gorgeous huge window in our master bedroom as well. So we just have some gorgeous views, and the kids love to play outside. So it was definitely a much needed change and upgrade that I'm very happy that we did. But again, there's so much from the old house that we really do miss. We created our family there. We bought that house just before we got married and really built our whole life there. So bringing this color in felt like bringing that comfort back into our space. And I'm incredibly glad that we decided to do that. It looks different in this room, to be totally honest. And I think I realized why. We had painted the entire trim white in the old house, and we are testing testing out keeping the trim wood in this house. I don't think it's the original wood, the original casings around the windows, but even if it's not the original, it is really, really old. So we're keeping it, and therefore the light is not bouncing off of the wood the same way that it bounced off the white trim, but it still looks beautiful. It looks a little bit more country, but I'm not mad about it because the house is set in the country, so it kind of goes with the feel. And then we got all of our stuff unpacked once we were finished painting and into the house. We decided to set up the couch a little bit different than we had in our former house, just so it fit the room better, but honestly that's the whole point of a modular couch, so we were able to easily do that. It came together lovely and it fits in the new space just wonderful. And I went through and I started pulling out all of the couch pillows and blankets and all the things to make our couch super cozy, comfy. The kids love to make pillow forts and blanket forts, so we always have a ton on the couch, and I honestly love to just cozy up on the couch, either lay down to nap or just cuddle with a good book at the end of the night. It is a really comfortable couch. If I can find it online, I'll also link it below, but I highly, highly recommend it. We got it from Macy's. And then I just went through and started putting things where they belong. I started putting boxes in the rooms that they needed to go in. I started taking the moving blankets and putting them into storage. And I finally unboxed our television. We are not huge television watchers, although I do have to say in this moving process, I've let the kids watch a little bit more TV than normal because it's just so easy when you're trying to get a whole bunch of stuff open and unwrapped and put away to have them a little bit more entertained than just the normal throwing toys everywhere, even though they really do enjoy throwing the toys everywhere. But I digress. Having the TV out is just something nice to have. I do have to say though that since moving, I've noticed that we don't really start the day off like with the TV on anymore, which is something that we did a lot in the old house. We kind of come down, we have breakfast, and pretty much go outside immediately. And again, that's the exact lifestyle that I was hoping for in this move. It has been such a needed change, and I'm incredibly grateful for the decision that we made to do this move, even though it has been a lot. And I'm not sure if I've ever shown this. I have, I think, showed this on the channel before, but it was quite a long time ago. The reason why we got a dresser for our TV stand is it is the perfect place to hide all of the kids' toys. So I used to have DVDs in the middle shelf, but let's be honest, I don't think I've pulled out a DVD and I couldn't even tell you how long. Plus there are these wonderful little built-in bookshelf type things on the side of the bump out here, so I'll probably end up putting our DVDs in that section. So all three of these drawers are specifically devoted to the kids' toys. I have toys in the bottom two drawers, and then I kind of have like learning and curriculum books and learning toys specifically in the top drawer, which is really great to pull out for my 3-year-old. We'll do some preschool lessons together, and he really enjoys that. He enjoys learning. So I have everything kind of organized and put away there. And then the very last thing that I kind of wanted to do to really make this section of the living room feel like home is add in a rug. We didn't have a rug in the old living room because we had carpet there. This rug was actually downstairs in our family room, but I thought it would fit really nice in this space, at least for now. I do want to look online for something that's maybe a little bit more plush, has maybe a higher pile to it, or at least has a cushion that comes underneath of it, because we redid all the floors. They're hardwood. They are beautiful, but they are hard. And my kids love to wrestle around. My little ones really loved to just roll around on the rug the second I put it out. So they were very happy to have that. And honestly, I was happy to have it as well. It really adds a little bit of extra pizzazz to this area of the room. And for now, it really works, and we are going with affordable items, and having what we have already and just kind of reusing it, repurposing it works perfectly. Oh yeah, and then this was actually the very last thing that I added into this space. This was our old side table. It's kind of moved around a lot in our previous house, but it was, I think, on the edge of this couch on this side in the previous home as well. So this is perfect for having a few books on it, being able to put a cup of coffee down when I'm sitting on the couch, whatever. It's just a nice little side table. We've had it since we got married. It's one of the very first things we ever bought. I think we got it from Pier 1, and it's just an easy table. It kind of goes with anything. So this is what the living room looks like at the moment, kind of all set up and beautiful. I really love how this whole area came together. I love how the couch fits across the windows perfectly, and it's been an amazing place to kind of cuddle, watch TV, relax with the kids when we have a second to breathe. And next week, I'm going to be showing you how we are setting up the other side of the room with a little bit of a China hutch decorate with me. We're going to do sort of a dining room side, mini side on the other side of this living room since it is so big and there is plenty of space. So definitely stay tuned for that. Subscribe if you are brand new. I'm so grateful to have you here on the channel. I make videos every single week about affordable living and intentional homemaking, and I will see you next Sunday, my friends, for a brand new video. I can't wait to see you then. Have an amazing week. Bye.